Hey y'all, this is Tracy from Dixie Soul Creations, and in this video I want to show you how I float a baby heirloom quilt to embroider. First of all, in another video I went ahead and showed how I measure. I'm putting this on the bottom circle of this quilt, and so I have my center marked. And so if you need to see those instructions, then that's going to be in another video entitled How I Center an Embroidery Design on a Baby Heirloom Quilt. Okay, so this one is going to be floating. So if you're not aware of floating is where I don't actually hoop my design. Instead, it's kind of floated on top of the hoop. So I have my hoop ready to go. And what I do is I have a box where I spray so I don't get spray all over the place when I spray. And I have my hoop with my embroidery stabilizer, and I have my center marked on my hoop. I have this little cutout that I made to cover my hoop because I don't like for my hoop to get all dirty. And usually I do my spraying in the closet because that keeps the overspray from going all over my sewing room here and all over my machinery. So I use the ODIF 505 temporary adhesive, and I'm just going to tilt this box a little bit and do a light spray in there, and then remove this and remove my hoop. And then I want to make sure that my my arrows are pointing up in the right direction, because trust me, I have made many mistakes, but I usually catch them before I embroider. I don't think I've ever embroidered a quilt backwards, knock on wood. And so what I'm going to do next is I have my quilt marked and I have it folded over. And so I'm just going to very carefully take the center dot on my quilt, and I'm going to match that with the center dot on my hoop. Just like that. And then once I do that, I'm going to go take this center line, match that up, and press that down, come over here and match this up. Okay, so I have that into place now, and so I will carefully just roll this over, making sure. And by the way, since I didn't mention it, I'll go ahead and say it now. This is the back of my quilt. I marked the back of my quilt because the back of my quilt is going to be stuck to the hoop so that I'm embroidering the top of the quilt. So I'm going to roll this down, keeping this line centered with the line on my stabilizer. Sometimes a lot of people don't like floating because they can't get it lined up, but I don't like hooping. I've just never been very successful with hooping. I think I just need a lot more practice. I don't know. And I'm going to roll this up, this part, because as you can see, I didn't actually line this up. I just lined the center up. So I'm going to roll this up, and then I'm going to roll it back down, making sure that that line matches the line on my stabilizer. So once I've done that, I'll flip this back over. And then this is not, even though it has a temporary adhesive here, it's not going to stay while the embroidery machine moves. So then I go around and I take my straight pins, and I'm going to pin all the way around this circle. So remember, my design from the last video, my design is going to go this way. This is the bottom of my quilt, and I like to put my design in the center. As long as I have a frame with a name in it, I usually center that. If I'm just doing a monogram, I usually do a corner circle. So I know it's going to go about right here, so I want to make sure when I put my pins, I put them close enough to where my quilt does not move while I'm embroidering, but I don't want them too close to where my needle is gonna hit. So now I'm just gonna go around, and I can safely say staying on the outer puffy circles would probably be good enough. And then I can also put some extra pins around the corners of the hoop as well. And I like to put a lot of pins just to make sure that it doesn't move. And I haven't tried fast frames yet. I don't know, I suppose one day I will, but I just feel like that's probably gonna be another learning curve for me. And I'm pretty happy with the floating method. I have not ever had one come loose, and I feel like it's been pretty successful. So I really don't want to try something right now that's new. Maybe someday I'll get some fast frames and I'll try those. But anyway, I'm going to go ahead and finish this up, and then it should be ready to embroider. But if you need to see how I found my center to get this ready to float, then check out that other video that I told you about, and I go over my methods there for centering. Okay, so I appreciate you watching. I appreciate any comments. If you have a better way, please share. I don't mind. I am new at this. I've been embroidering for many years, but I have not been making YouTube videos for as long as I've been embroidering. On this channel, if you found my channel, you probably also found all of my resin work. I really enjoy resin work, and actually have done embroidery for many years. Resin is my new hobby, and right now it's kind of a struggle for me to stay out of the resin room and come to the embroidery room, but I have to manage. So anyway, if you like my video, give it a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel, and find me. I will link my Etsy store and my Facebook business page. So find me on there and give me a holler. Thank you for watching.